there are some fun little games that I've been thinking about playing. We might take a break from whatever we're doing when I go to Texas for the holidays, because I'm going to be traveling to Austin for the show with my band. And then I've got my travel in then the holidays themselves and stuff. But what I might do is something that we did a couple of years ago, where I didn't do my normal streams, but I did kind of like a special something else, which was really good games. But so we could do a couple of little things like that, disconnected from everything. So whatever I'm able to do, I'm able to get done at that time. Also, we had talked about doing a Secret Santa, and I dropped the ball on that just because I've been so preoccupied with my stuff. But that is something that folks have been interested in, and we could do a Secret Santa still, which I would open up to folks who are participatory YouTube or Twitch viewers who want to be part of the Flutie Pie community but have always been a little shy. This could be your moment. Just to let you know what our Secret Santas have been like in the past. No money is exchanged. This is not a buy things for each other thing. This is a make or find things for each other. So like, if you can, write a fanfic or a sonnet or put together a mix album, or like, so we had somebody put together like a zine. People have drawn fan art. People have like arranged songs. Basically, you put down kind of like what are some like fandoms or things you're into. So this could be like, I'm really obsessed with Undertale and Deltarune. My favorite animal is cats, and I really like baking. And so somebody might be like, here's a picture I drew of Toriel hanging out with a cat baking cookies. And it'd be like, cool. Or somebody might be like, well, I don't know how to like draw or write, but I've gathered 3 recipes that I found online that sound like something Toriel would bake. And here's a little present for you. So the idea of it is that you are thinking of what makes the other person happy, and you're trying to put together something that would make them happy. And so we have about a month to do it once signups open. And then people get assigned your Secret Santa. And then at the end of that, I schedule a stream where we all gather together. And so more folks from the Discord who don't usually come to my game streams anymore will come to that because they'll be participating. And those of you who maybe are shy about joining the Discord but would like to like interact with the Discord crew, because they're lovely. Like, we have a really great community. This could be a really nice way of bringing everybody together. So if that sounds like something you would be interested in participating in, I would ask that you join the Discord for the time being, because it's easier to organize that and for me to keep track of everybody, but you don't have to stick around and stay. I will have more information about that. We will not be streaming next week because I will be traveling for Thanksgiving. So I guess that means that our Secret Santa is going to have to go from December into January, and we will do our Secret Santa exchange sometime in January. Which I think would be easier, because that way, like, you can have like some time, at least the holidays are entirely behind us. For most holidays that I know of, will be over by like after New Year's, so maybe we'll have like another week or so in there, and then we'll do a stream to do a gift exchange so we can extend the holiday season. If that sounds like fun, I can make that happen. We've done it before, we can do it again. I'm a little bit more frazzled now than I was the years that we've done it in the past, but that's fine, that's okay. So you're all welcome to participate. Some of you have participated before, right? I feel like Nick and Ampy, did you participate before? Chrono, I don't know that you did you? I don't remember. But I know that we've done it several times, but it's been years. I didn't think so, Chrono, but perhaps we could talk you into it now. Yay! Yeah, the zine was yours. Okay, Nick. It was such a cool thing that I just keep talking about it. Okay, look at that. My memory sort of remembered a little bit. But yeah, everybody else, even if you're shy, even if you're a lurker, if that sounds like fun, you are welcome to join us. And you can be like, I'm going to join you for this one thing, and then I'm going to go back to lurking. Totally allowed. That's totally fine. I think it's a really neat thing to do. We've also done a Christmas in July Secret Santa, which I was meaning to pick up and do again, but I didn't. I don't know. It's just, there are many things I've been meaning to do and have not been able to do them in the past few years, but the next best time is now. So we'll do that. Okay. We'll then look forward to that in early December. And yeah, like, just think if you're a lurker and you get matched to somebody and they receive something from a lurker, like, that actually would feel super cool. It's like a visit from a cryptid. It's like, whoa! This person is super special, gracing us with their presence this time, like overcoming whatever anxiety demons you might have, just to be with us for that would just be extra cool. So I hope that you will consider it, and that would be fun. I do really want next year in 2025. I'm hoping to do more stream variety. So we'll do some tarot streams and some music streams and things like that again too. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, that is not directly related to the game that we're playing, but I really wanted to talk about it, so it'll hopefully happen. My camera's been having a hard time focusing on me. Come on, camera. There we go. We got it. Okay, excellent. So Teenage Exocolonist, huh? Last time we got to check out all of our new portraits. Everybody's a teenager. We had a literal dance party, but it got interrupted by a really nasty jerk man talking about how we're gonna go out there and annihilate everything on the planet. And so now the kids are starting to split up into those who are like, heck yeah, let's take out the whole planet. And those who are like, I don't know, maybe myrtleizing an entire planet is not a good idea. I happen to align more with the characters that don't want to myrtleize the planet by some utter coincidence. So that is probably the route we're going to take. Also, notably, we encountered a space elf and had some interesting conversations that were somewhat tangentially related to him. Yes, space elf. So I am absolutely sneakily stealing things from human culture to give to the space elf, which I believe I have done already. Spelf, I don't know if that's a thing. Glittery snow falling. Yes, that's right. We're still in the first part of the year. Oh, yeah. We took a really long, like, a lot happened in those first 2 months. I feel like a lot happened in those first 2 months. Have I talked to everybody? It looks like I've talked to everyone this time around. Ah, here we go. I feel like everyone's gone insane, Dis says, looking around at the increased activity outside the walls. It's not just me who can see that, right? This planet is bigger and older than we can even imagine. If we act aggressive, it's just gonna smack us down even harder. Dis spreads his hands. No one is listening. We have to listen to the planet. Okay, I can give him a medicinal root. That makes him happy. Although I think I've maxed out my friendship with him, haven't I? Yes, the twins and I are maximum BFFs. Cal and I are doing pretty well, despite not seeing eye to eye on everything, because it turns out you don't have to see eye to eye on everything. But the general big picture of things has to be compatible enough, I think. Yes, okay, so Chrono is comparing Jess to a certain avalanche leader in Final Fantasy VII. You're not wrong. Oh man. So I don't think I've missed anything here. Oh, okay, I can't give a gift to Cal. I don't know if I want to give a gift. Oh, I can't give Mars another one. Oh. So I guess we're really at war now? Because I just tried to use my kudos to print a new hairband, and they told me that I can't because I have enough hairbands already, and they have to save the nano printer for things that are important. Mars crosses her arms and stomps her foot. Hello? Have you seen my hair? Accessories are important, okay? It's funny because, like, sometimes I find her sympathetic and sometimes I don't so much. So that's good. She's not just a flat two-dimensional character. Rex is being sexy talking. Nomi says, my mom and dad asked if I was getting serious with anyone, Nomi says, wrinkling their nose. Gross-a-rooney, right? I wonder if they will hook up with Dis if I don't. Oh, thank you, Blues. Tan just sitting before an array of hollow screens, all showing different graphs. Making decisions based on the mistakes of the humans we purposefully left behind on Earth is foolishness, she says between bites of her protein bar. We may as well ask the stars for guidance, like astrologers. No, I will not be taking questions at this time. All right. Well, oh yeah, and Anemone is apparently dating this guy, which I get bad vibes from him. Like, I'm worried about her. You're pretty good friends with Rex, aren't you? Vase asks, giving you a once-over. He must not like what he sees. I wouldn't go around telling everyone that. It might not work out great for you. Just a bit of friendly advice. Screw you. I don't like you. You're like the one character I don't like legitimately don't like. Like, Mars, I liked disliking. Like, we had our rivalry, whatever, but... Okay, so what am I gonna do with the rest of this month? Okay. I've got one more month. What am I gonna do? I want to go back out there. Yeah, I can go give stuff to Sim. That's correct. Oh, where was he located? He's in the plains, right? Oh, there's collectibles remaining in the plains. Because I want to just be able to go to other locations and meet him. Hold on. I'm going to make a save and find out for myself. Okay. I'm good at naming things. I want to go to the ridge. We'll see if he's here, because we can just wander around. Oh, there's a big scene. Oh, that's exciting. We've got a scene going on with Dis. That's good. We've got stuff. Got more scenes. All right. More scenes, more stuff. And more stuff. Did I come back the way I came? I did, didn't I? This is where I came from, isn't it? Yeah, there he is. Okay, well. We're just gonna go here and we're gonna cruise around and see if he's anywhere here. Because I do wanna go through these places and get all of these things and do all of these scenes and so on. I just need to make a delivery to my elf boyfriend, who's not my boyfriend. I have a not boyfriend already. Not interested in the elf. Oh, look at that! Ha! Victory. All right. Science wins once again. Because it was science that told me to investigate this. Scientifically. Because I have save games. He is an alien of some sort. Alright, let's talk to him, shall we? Did you bring what I asked? Sim? By the way, is his name Symbiosis? I don't think he's told me. Did he tell me what his full name is? Because, I mean, the SIM card thing is funny. See, I have data on a SIM card for him. But I don't remember if his name was Symbiosis or if it's just that his name makes me think of Symbiosis. It is short for Symbiosis. Okay, that was in my head, but I couldn't remember for sure. And what, pray tell, is the definition of symbiosis, my friends? Not that the names necessarily all actually directly relate to the characters themselves. We don't know whether Professor Dahl suffered from halitosis. But, having this, gardener of the planet who is trying to better understand and perhaps coexist with humans, just as he has helped the other creatures on the planet coexist with each other, and perhaps he has coexisted with them symbiotically. Everybody benefits from this relationship. We'll see. We'll see. This is the most heavy-handed, ham-fisted symbolism. No, it's fine. They can totally get away with doing that because like he came up with a name to tell me, so he may be trying to hint at that. And also because the other names are not like that. Like, it's not like it's like a cheesy thing. Like, it feels like it could be like an intentional decision on his part to have that extra meaning rather than the authors actually being heavy-handed, because they're not. But anyway, I thought that was interesting as I was thinking about it. All right. Aptonym. Oh, yes, I've seen that term before. So I can say, I've got the data you asked for. Oh, look at that. I have friendship points with him. I knew it, Sim exclaims. I dreamed about it last night in my vat. And you're what now? Tell me about your vat, buddy. You a vat elf? Did they grow you there? What? It's really interesting. Okay. And you're what now? Sim waves his hand dismissively. Never mind. Let me have the data drive. Yes, but answer a question first. Sim sighs and crosses his arms, but from his smile you can tell he's amused by your little game. Yeah, I knew he was not going to mind this. Okay, I'll answer exactly one question, he allows. What is it? Okay, so do other people know about you? Well, he has an easy cop-out for that one, because I already know that Dis knows about him. Do the gardeners want to hurt us? What's with those thumping ruins, or how do you know my language? If Solana were purely science-minded and she were only interested in, like, learning more about things, she would probably want to know what's going on with the thumping ruins. They're very important. However, the gardeners are a big question mark, you know? And Solana, unlike me, has had to deal with life or death, conflicts and uncertainty, and is at this very moment really wondering about how much she can trust the people in her community. So I think that she might actually pick the pragmatic question instead of, how do you know my language? There's so many possible answers for that. What's with those thumping ruins? I want to know. But I want to know, what are you guys doing? What is up with the gardeners? Since you're one of them, so presumably there's more. What's the deal, buddy? You tell me. The gardeners want to hurt us. Sim sighs. I hoped your question was going to be a fun one. Yes, the other questions would have been much more fun. But I think that Solana... This is where Solana differs from Nomi. Nomi would have been all about the excitement, the adventure, the unknown. Oh my god, there's aliens. Tell me all about them. And I think even Dis, for all that he is concerned about what is going to happen, he would want to know how things work. He would be like, you've had one chance to get to know more about, like, what's happening in the planet. But mostly, I think the big difference here is between Solana and Nomi. Nomi would ask the adventurous questions that were just pure curiosity. And I think Solana, as a kid, would have done the same thing. But Solana, as she is now traumatized by the loss and hardship that she's had to face at such a young age, is more pragmatic than that. And I think this is a case where she would roll her eyes at Nomi for asking those questions, even though she herself absolutely would have asked those questions before. It's interesting to me to develop this character who's not going to, like, she's all made up in my head right now. Also, hello, welcome. All right. He takes a breath and answers carefully. It's not that we want to hurt you, he replies. It's not personal or even malicious. It's like dealing with an invasive species. Sometimes you need to resort to harsh methods to remove it before it destroys the ecosystem. He holds his hand out expectantly. Perhaps that is not the answer you wished to hear, he says gently, but it is not our fault you are the way you are. This makes me think of a book I read recently. What was it called? That had to do with kind of like the worst parts of human nature and what it takes to rise past that. So I have to look up what this book was because I don't remember what it was called. It was, hold on, no, I've got this. It was called Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. It is a science fiction book. It is more of an idea book and a philosophy book than it is a character book. No, not necessarily humans are inherently bad, but humans have worse tendencies. And just as you find people who think of us as being uniquely special and good in some ways, there are also people who think of us as being uniquely flawed, perhaps. And these are both interesting ideas to explore in fiction. Tumblr's series of posts about aliens thinking that humans are adorable because we keep pets or are fearlessly doing stupid things and all of that. Like, that's one flavor of thinking about humanity. This is another, which, I mean, thing is, individual humans can be good, and groups of humans can be good as well. But there is no guarantee that there aren't going to be people doing bad things and with really harmful motivations. A lot of times the people who can do harm are able to wrest control of humans, which is really dangerous. So even if the majority of humans in an area, a colony or a country, are not bad people who would do harm, frequently harm will still be done because the people in charge who have risen to power are the people who would do harm, and they are able to make it such that they can do harm without being stopped by others. So I think that is, for me, that feels like a fairly accurate, and obviously we all have our own personal bias about everything in our lives, just because we are people with brains and thoughts and experiences and opinions. But I think that's, for me, that rings true. People can be generally not bad. But if you have a leader, like a political leader, who has the guns, so to speak, and makes the decision and decides that we're going to go to war with the entire planet, you know, not everybody in that colony wants to do that. Not everybody in that colony agrees with it. And even those who do agree with it maybe are doing it as a form of self-defense instead of like, yeah, let's go just blow up everything on the planet. What are you thinking, my man? But regardless, like, you know, what can we do about it? And in the case of this small colony on this planet where my rebellious-minded kid is making friends with this space elf, there are things that we will presumably be able to try to do, whether we will succeed or not. But I think that that's something important to think about in the context of the real world as well, especially with the number of really, frankly, downright evil politicians out there who are rising to positions of power and are either currently enacting great harm against others or plan to do so, to remember that not everybody who is being ruled by that leader is represented by that leader, you know? I don't know. I think it's very important to humanize people and to maintain that understanding of people as humans instead of a monolith that is good or bad. Anyway, politics. Video games. Get your politics out of my video games. Oh man, I really hope that we can stop the bad guy in this one, because it's very frustrating to be powerless to stop bad guys in real life. That's one of the appeals of fiction, is the power fantasy of being able to actually make a difference. All right, let's see what we get to do. You hand over the data drive and Sim takes it reverently, staring as if he could see what's inside. Marvelous, he says. Like a genetic payload, except with digital data instead of organic. What will I learn from this trove, I wonder? You're still puzzling over the implications of the phrase genetic payload as he continues. The other gardeners are so tedious and obsessed with their work, he complains. They're more concerned with maintaining equilibrium than experiencing new things. They don't understand that novelty is what makes life interesting. I just had an uncomfortable idea. You know how there was that terminal of some sort underneath the Pollen place that almost killed me, where I want to go burninate? Pretty sure that belongs to one of the gardeners. I'm pretty sure one of the gardeners is directly responsible for the shimmer. I do not condone vengeance as a motivator. Revenge does not actually improve situations. It does not actually make things any better. But it is, I think, a very common human urge. And Solana will have to wrestle with that if it comes up. Even though I have been trying to play this like relatively peacefully, with like one or two exceptions, I think, of violence against creatures. The danger of role playing, my friends, is that role-playing characters, if they are done well, like characters in anything else, and like real people, are flawed. So they make wrong decisions sometimes. And they should make wrong decisions, and there should be consequences. So I could have spent all of these months doing a relatively pacifistic playthrough and undo it because Solana is devastated at the loss of her father. That could happen. And it would be, for me, satisfying. See, that's the thing. When I was playing Undertale, I wasn't really thinking about my character in that way. But if I did, there's a lot more it's a lot more simplistic. All right. So we have established that Sim is at odds with the other gardeners. The other gardeners want equilibrium at all costs to anything else. Whereas Sim is interested in introducing new things. So my guess is that the rest of the gardeners just want us gone. They just want to wipe us off the mat. And Sim is like, I bet I can make the humans part of our ecology here. I bet I could make that work. That would be really interesting. Wouldn't that be interesting? And the rest of them are like, we're not really concerned with interesting. And Sim's like, well, that's what's wrong with you. I love puzzling over the implications of the phrase genetic payload. Yes. Well, he was created from a vat. This is such a weird planet. I don't know. There's interesting stuff going on here. I have a few half-baked ideas, but I don't have enough pieces to talk about them yet. He slips the data drive into his sleeve. Thank you, Solana. I will treasure this. Okay, well, that's that. Huh. You come up on Sim practicing something that looks like yoga. His body moves in very unnatural ways, like he's double-jointed. There's so much possibility in this body, he observes. I cannot help but think humans don't appreciate the limits of their forms. I feel positively new. He's so excited that his body has limitations. That makes you more aware of your body and your life. All right. Well, I could give him presents. I could give him a birthday cake. I only get 7 cakes in the course of the game. Yeah, no, it's a funny word, Nick. So we don't know exactly what this person is, but his body isn't quite right, and the game narration kind of described him earlier, in the last stream when we met him, that it feels kind of like someone had humans described to them, and designed a human based on the description that they heard. So he's not quite right. And so we're not quite sure what the specifics of what he really is, but he's not human, and he's taking on a human-like form for the sake of interacting with humans. That's what we do know about him. And he's part of some sort of an alien species that oversees this planet. They call themselves gardeners. They oversee the planet, but I think are ruled by the planet. So we'll see what's going on. I don't know. I kind of want to give him a cake because it's a human thing. Just to see what happens. Don't you want to see what happens? I don't know what else I have that is a giveable gift. I'm going to give him a piece of cake. Haha! A cake! Sim exclaims. A most wonderful human invention! He turns it around in his hands, sniffs it, then takes a fingerful of frosting and puts it in his mouth. Fantastic! He shouts again as he hands the cake back to you. I enjoyed that immensely! I hope the others you share it with will like it just as much as I did. Yeah, okay. He sniffs it and licks the icing. I'm so glad that I guessed correctly, because I feel like otherwise things that I give him would be very much like when a small child brings you a rock, a random rock on the ground, or when a small child gives you their own toy or gives you something that is yours and you're like, thank you for the thought. That's what it feels like if I were to give him something that I found randomly. Now, I could give him the alien devices that I have been giving to Dis. Maybe I'll try that next, but there we go. I quite enjoy these holographic videos you gave me, Sim says. I have been learning so much about humanity from them. However, Sim lays his finger to his lips and thought, what does it mean to make someone an offer he can't refuse? This is concerning. Perhaps we should not be giving the Godfather as a representation of our species. I don't know. Dislikes nothing. There is nothing that he dislikes. So he will like everything, perhaps, well enough. Oh, but that didn't help my friendship. Interesting. I'm concerned about asking him to help me calm down. I am concerned that if I do that too often, I'm going to wind up in his thrall. Are any of you familiar with the Saga game that Acellus comes from? It's a song that I play on my flute. I made an arrangement of Cellus's theme. If you are, then you probably know where I'm going with this. It's actually not a game I've played personally, but I have had some friends over the years, and not friends. I have known people over the years, that's better. I have known people over the years who were very enthusiastic about it. So therefore I have heard about it because people like to talk about things they like, and I find it very interesting. I've thought about playing through that one. I tend not to like Saga games, is the downside. but I'm very intrigued. Anyway, there is a character in that game who can use a form of magic. And if you use magic a lot in gameplay, there are consequences in the story that are not there if you do not use magic a lot in gameplay. If I met an alien, what would I give to them as a gift? Well, it would depend on the alien, I would think. And where I was and what the context was. I can't just answer that question. You have to give me parameters. Alright, let's talk to Dis and see what's going on over here. I guess I need to go back and visit all of these locations. You're about to set off on your gliders when Dis stops you. Actually, he says, looking around furtively, I want to show you a place I found when I was scouting. You look up from your holomap. It's not on any map yet, he says. It's special. I want to show you because I think you're the only person in the colony who'll understand what it means. Is this my 100% with Dis? Did I stumble into that here, I wonder? You and Dis set off, hoping for a few hours before the trackers in your holopalms ping Utopia that you're not where you said you'd be. After a short trek off map, Dis takes you to a round door set into the side of a cliff. The door is glossy black and made of something that's part bone and part stone, like the rest of the Convergent Domain architecture you've seen. Unlike the ruins, this place looks, well, not new, but definitely well maintained. Is this where the vats are? Are we gonna go interrupt Sim at home? Is he gonna invite us in for tea? What would I give as one thing to represent humans? I don't know. I'd have to think on that. Dis touches his fingers to the center of the door, and it dilates like an iris. Previously unseen seams folding in on themselves with a noise like rocks grinding together. Inside is a lumpy, smooth tunnel that reminds you unpleasantly of intestines. It looks like you could barely fit in there on hands and knees. An unexpectedly cool wind ruffles your hair. Okay, so I can either dive on in there with bravery of 30 or greater, which I do have. It's interesting, the bravery requirements are not usually super, super high, which actually I appreciate. I could let Dis go first because he's literally incapable of feeling fear, which is actually kind of concerning. Or I could just say, oh, hell no, which I really love that is the way of not doing it, is to say, oh, hell no. There's a lot of personality in that line. Obviously, Lauren, upon being faced with a cliff with a hole that is a cave, would say, oh, hell no. But I am not playing Lauren. I am playing Solana. And Solana can handle caves. Solana's gonna dive on in there. And Dis is gonna be like, this is why you're my person. Yeah! Disliked that. And I got a bravery point. You both crawl and inch your way through the tunnel to where the cave opens up about 10 or 15 meters in. You stand in a cave that looks part organic and part intentional. A curious mixture of almost organic-looking stone growths, crystals, and glowing mushrooms in a riot of iridescent oil slick colors, some of which look like they could be controls for an ancient bioweapon. I think that this is what I saw underneath the Pollen place. I'm pretty sure, because I couldn't remember when I saw a thing that looked like the rainbows on the walls earlier. But this, I think, looks similar to what I saw in the Pollen place. I might be mistaken on that, but we're working with my memory. So. Your view deeper into the cave is obscured by layer cake stalagmite pillars. Judging by the art, I think that's a mistake. Judging by the art, I think they mean stalactites because there's more of those. But I don't know. Oh, question. If it's a full pillar like that, where it connects from top to bottom, Is that a stalagmite? Is that a stalactite? Does the stalagmite take precedence over the stalactite? Is there another term altogether for a connected pillar? What's the separate term? No, Chrono. No. What is the separate term? I need to know. I have just discovered a hole in my geology, and it must be corrected for the time being. Don't worry, I'll forget about it soon enough, I'm sure. But I still managed to retain stalactites and stalagmites. Just a pillar? That's just a pillar? A column. A column! I think I knew that, actually. I think I knew that. No, stalactite. C is for ceiling. And G, it's stalagmite, is for ground. So it's the ground and the ceiling. Mnemonic devices are marvelous. I love them. What is delightful about this, somebody presumably told me that. I don't think I came up with that one on my own, but that has been floating inside of me since I was like 5. And so I'm happy to share that with you. Column, stalagnate. It has an N. Oh, this was definitely from a book or a person specifically talking about rocks and minerals and things like that, because I was really into them when I was a kid. Stalactite holds to the ceiling. There's a C, not a G. Because it's ceiling. It's stalagmite. It's on the ground. Okay, so stalagnate. I mean, Nate's a dude. Nate stands tall. I'm sorry, that's the best I've got. That's what happens when I make a mnemonic device. Stagnate. It's holding still. Okay, so when I was in 7th grade life sciences class, and we had to remember a lot of things because biology involves a lot of memorizing of things. It's my least favorite science. I think I like it even less than chemistry. I came up with this entire mnemonic device about various creatures doing things. But I remember that one of the things was Sven the horse. So Sphenopsida, I think is what it's called. Is that horsetails? Because that will tell you what I was memorizing. That is unfortunately the only piece of it, but Sven the horse was doing something. Hanging out with somebody else, and they were doing an action, and the series of things was memorizing. So look up Sphenopsida and see its relationship to the word horse. Not actual horses, we're not talking about equines. This is what happens when you allow me to be in charge of coming up with mnemonic devices of mine. That's how I know that the stalactite and stalagmite can't have been mine. But Nate, stalagnate, Nate's a dude, he stands tall. We'll see if I remember that. I don't know what that one is, blue glass, but I like it. That's a good one. All right. Anyway, I got sidetracked and didn't even finish reading this. Oh, kingdom, phylum, something, family, genus, species. Class order. Okay. I forgot that those were things. Okay, what is Sphenopsida? It's one of those, isn't it? It's something like that. It's not a... Hold on, I'm going to look this up. We're having a science break. Ah! One of the 4 subclasses of... Hold on, Wikipedia is answering my question here. They are commonly known as horsetails. Why was I memorizing horsetails? What else? What else is equivalent to horsetails? That was a whole set. Okay, so I think it was the class, because it says when treated as a class, Sphenopsida was used. Okay. Okay. So that was a class. What else are classes? I'm sorry. I don't remember why I would be learning that, because that seems too specific. Like, I don't know. I thought that this was going to make perfect sense, but it doesn't. I don't know. Anyway, that is from when I was 13. I'm over twice that age now. I'm over 3 times that age now. The fact that I can still remember that when I can't remember anything is kind of amazing. If any other little bits and pieces of Lauren's really bad mnemonic devices pop into my head, I will let you all know. All right. Your view deeper into the cave is obscured by layer cake stalagnate pillars. Everything is dark but for the eerie glow. You're using your hollow palms as flashlights. That would be so convenient. But it's air conditioned. Cool, fresh air is blowing from vents in the floor. Interesting. I haven't figured out what this place is for yet, Dis says, touching a mushroom with his fingertip. It puffs out a cloud of glowing spores and he sneezes. You spread out to see if you can decipher this place. Like, what the heck is that? Writing on the wall, console-looking thing, or glowing thingy on the ground? Incredible whooper. Music ones I mostly learned from my mom as my piano teacher, so I learned classics. Every good boy does fine, or every good boy deserves fudge. All cows eat grass, or all cars eat gas. Yeah. Alright, so there's writing on the wall, console-looking thing, or glowing thingy on the ground. I could pick up a strange device, but I've been finding those outside. I'm curious about the writing on the wall. Curious about the console-looking thing. Glowing thingy on the ground coming from here. I don't want to pick one of those up, per se. I want to learn the rest of this. Okay. What would Solana do? Solana has started repairing robots. A little bit. So the console looking thing might appeal to her because she's been doing some stuff like that. She's been doing console repairs or robot repairs, and she's been doing hollow palm modifications. And I don't know that we'll be able to read the writing on the wall. So let's look at the console looking thing. If it's a screen, it's all dark. Like when congruence isn't active. Unlike congruence's colorful decorated chassis, this has a decidedly alien tech feel. You fiddle around, touching things at random. Don't do that, Solana. What kind of scientist are you? Don't do that, hisses Dis, but nothing happens. Okay, well, I'm glad the Dis and I are on the same page. And about that... Oh, right, I can maybe look at something else. Let's look at the writing on the wall. There's a huge faceted crystal plate embedded in the wall, engraved with deep glyphs. Convergent Domain writing, you guess, and some kind of map. There are lines between the symbols. You trace your hand over it, but can't make any sense of it. Perhaps this has something to do with keeping things in equilibrium. Perhaps the different parts of the planet have to counterbalance the other parts of the planet. And everything has been designed to be min-maxed. Hold on, the camera is being blurry again. Come on, camera. Okay, I fixed it. I don't know why it's doing that. Well, what in the world is... Okay, so we are going to get to ask all of those questions. Well, that's good. I'm glad. What in the world is that glowing thingy on the ground? Very scientific. You pick up another strangely warm, glowing whatever it is. I'm glad that they assume you've picked these up by now. Perhaps there's a flag if you haven't yet. What if I did this? Am I going to put the strange device in the console? Dis makes a shocked noise as the reality of the cave melts away, and you find yourself back in the depot. No, not back. Not entirely. You can still feel the cool, moist breath of the cave on your cheeks, can still smell the funk of the mushrooms, but everything else is exactly as you'd expect, as real as if you could reach out and touch it. You feel embodied. Like you can feel the pressure of your feet, 4 feet, on the ground. Ooh, I don't know if this is a memory thing, or if I am experiencing another creature's way of being. Utopia walks through Dis, rematerializing on the other side to talk to one of the other surveyors. Dis passes his hand through her image with amazement. Are they spying on us? He breathes. The image of Utopia doesn't seem to hear him. Huh. My reasoning went up. You take your hands off the controls and the cave returns. Dis blinks at you in the sudden gloom. What the hell was that? He says. It was like we were really there. Like we were seeing out of the eyes of some kind of animal. Like we were the animal. Man. Are the gardeners spying on us? We have to tell Utopia or we can't tell anyone. I'm gonna... Yeah, no, this was definitely the device. That's the thing, is it's not a timeline thing. It was really clearly not a timeline thing. It was very clearly... because it didn't feel like it was like an impossible alternate way of things. Like there was nobody there who shouldn't have been there. Things are slightly wrong in ways that they shouldn't be. I'm gonna ask, are the gardeners spying on us? Because for all that I helped Sim out, I don't know that I trust him. I don't trust anyone. I trust Dis at this point. We're in this together, but are the gardeners spying on us? Sim says they have eyes everywhere, Dis says. I didn't know he meant literally. We can't let Utopia know about this, he continues. We have to keep Sim's secrets. You agreed to keep this monitoring station a secret. I would have lost friendship points with Dis, I'm sure, if I disagreed. We'll see what happens. I wonder if I'm going to wind up getting all of humanity enslaved to become... Well, I guess that's a wrong word. If I'm going to get all of humanity turned into livestock, essentially, for the gardeners to garden, then we get turned into some sort of plant, mineral, animal amalgamate. That's a good ending. I love that. Love that. Okay, well that was really exciting, wasn't it? I feel like I should probably take a couple of those question mark things. Get a couple of points from things. Also gather all the stuff there is to gather. This way. We're going to go through to the end, and then we can decide. This looks like this one might be one of those, like, recover energy things. Ah. Huh. You investigate a weird squeaking noise, eventually following it to its source. An undulating swarm of sleek creatures are gathered on the cliff above you. You watch as they throw their tiny bodies off of the edge, plummeting past you and out of sight. They scream and screech in excitement. Okay, weird. I could get close to investigate, film it from a distance, or leave them. I'm going to get close to investigate. Need perception 10 or greater. Set neighbors to the value 3. Yes, lemmings, but they're bounce weasels. Oh, that's the creature that it shows on the Finji screen when you load up the game. Oh, stress. You pick your way down the slope, finding a second herd of miraculously unharmed weasels at the bottom. As you watch them, one lands on your head and, squeaking indignantly, goes to join the rest of its kin. Ouch! Haha! Got more animal points. You hear the flapping of wings and look up. A whole colony of pink and orange Dorbs moth clings to the rock overhead, nearly camouflaged. As the squealing of the weasels above reaches a fever pitch, the Dorbs moth restlessly take off from the cliff and flutter around. You know, this is super adorable. It might be my favorite creature in the game for sheer cuteness. You watch as one of the little creatures pitches off of the edge of the cliff and lands square on a Dorbs moth's back, sending them both plummeting to the bottom. As the large moth crashes fatally into the ground, the weasel curls its body and bounces harmlessly away, then scurries back to feed on its prey. Oh, bounce weasels. Interesting. It killed a moth, and then it's going to eat the moth. You record the screeching on your hollow palm. What a noise! They're adorable. Whatever, they're super cute. Got a couple points in animals. Aha! Gonna get some devices. Perhaps I will ask what this device is the next time I can give a gift to Sim. Thunking is happening. We are approaching Thunk. Have I been through here this time around? I don't think I have. Gotta get all the stuff. You know, you might as well get all the stuff. I want to go do that one because I think that one is a significant location, but I want to be able to do the boss fight. And I think I'm at risk of not being able to do the boss fight. I know calling them boss fights is kind of funny. Oh, look, there's more stuff. We're gonna get the stuff. Ah, okay. That's not technically a boss fight, though. Oh, look at that! There's a Utopia moment. Also not a boss fight. Sorry. There's the boss fight. Oh, there's a lot to do here. A lot of stuff to pick up. Alright, well, let us go talk to Utopia, because that's interesting. Well, once we've picked up all the things. We'll talk to Utopia, see what's up. And one of these is probably going to be a thing that restores me a bit. We'll see. Utopia has sent a team of geologists, yeah, the best science, to get a closer look at this region's weird terrain. You come across them working, and Utopia beckons you over. Solana, she says, drawing everyone's attention to you. Solana, come here. Everyone, Solana's been working in this area a while, and I'm sure she's got plenty of information on what's out there. The geologists politely turn towards you and listen. Here's what we got so far, Utopia says, speaking directly to you. Judging from how the layers of sedimentation are broken up, this place used to be pretty flat for there must have been a ton of earthquake activity, ripping up the land and bringing up these huge ridges. We can date the quakes around the time a lot of these ruins were created, she adds. And we're looking, but we haven't seen anything built after them. Like that was it for the old Convergent Domain. Amazing. Okay. So, perhaps the Convergent Domain destroyed themselves, and they left the gardeners here to repair the ruined planet behind them. There's my mini golfing for the day. Fairly baseless at this point, I think. But, I'm allowed to be making baseless. That's what mini golfing's all about. You know? Yeah. 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 These broken up layers are the same across the planet. Something sure happened about 20,000 years ago. Ooh, that's a long time. Share your findings on the obsidian layer. Share your findings on the crystals or help them work. I'm trying to think what the obsidian layer and the crystals are. Oh, I don't remember. So I don't know if either of those are things I'm not supposed to tell. Was the obsidian hot to the touch? Was that the place that made me calm? I don't remember. And I have no idea what crystals I'm talking about. I don't know what any of this is. Oh! Caro, thank you for the raid. Hello, Rurha. Oh, it has been a little while. Hello and welcome, folks. We are playing, I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, which if you haven't played it, is really a fantastic game. I'm really impressed with it, the writing in it. It's also actually inspired me to roleplay a character, which I almost never do in games like this. What have you folks been up to tonight, or whatever time of day it is where you are, I suppose? I can't guarantee that everybody is in the same time of day that I am, but it is evening where I am. This game is like one part visual novel, one part deck building card game, one part I don't know. It has its influences, but it's also very much its own thing. Like I've never seen a video game take inspiration from the Quiet Year before, for example. So it's fascinating. I'm currently playing this game on Tuesdays and Aoden on Thursdays, although there's been a fair bit of me missing streams lately because I've had health issues and I've got some upcoming travel and things like that. Oh, well, thank you, Rurha. Believe you drew me a piece of fan art once upon a time, didn't you? Unfortunately, my memory is really bad these days, so a lot has been lost to me, but I have impressions of things. Yeah, I feel like I came across that at some point. Thank you for that. That's a very sweet thing to have done. Yeah, it was a long time ago. I've been streaming for a while now. I think next year we will be celebrating the 10th anniversary of my streams, for better or for worse. So it's been a minute. Which has been interesting to see people go through phases of their own lives. Some of the people who came to us quite young, who are now, they're no longer spending as much time with us because they're very busy with their lives. Seeing people, we've had a few people in the Flutie Pies have children. We've seen animals get adopted and grow up. It's just been a fun adventure. So yeah, my deal is that I tend to like to pick apart what I see is going on in a story that I'm playing, and sometimes speculate what I think is going to happen next or has happened in the past, depending on how the story works and what we're building towards, whether we're discovering things or the plot is progressing or both. That's really fun. I call it mini golfing. And I like to compare things to stuff that it makes me think of in like the real world, whether that's literature or a real world situation. Like, for example, a ruler who's taken charge, who is thinking purely of his own ego as opposed to what's best for the group. And some parallels we might be able to draw there, and things like that. So if that sounds like a good time, please feel free to stick around. This game, we are 3/4 of the way done-ish, I think, of my first playthrough. And it is like a visual novel. rewards multiple playthroughs. Well, I applied to play at the next Virtua Ongaku concert, which will be in early December. And I may do a flute stream this weekend, potentially, for example. But I haven't been able to keep up with my regular night streams, let alone add to them. Unfortunately, I've missed more streams, I think, this year and last year than at any previous point in my life. There have been some mystery health issues that we keep trying to get under control, but it is what it is, and I'm still doing my best, and I appreciate the folks who still stick with me even when I play weird, obscure little games that I take too long to play through and miss streams regularly. So thank you for that, for everybody who's been hanging out. And we're thinking about redoing the Secret Santa for the Flutie Pies community. So if you like the community and feel like sticking around, please feel free to join us on our Discord. And that the community there is really lovely. Anyway, that's my little like welcome intro thing. I don't really have I'm pretty low key as streamers go. I don't have I do have a stream deck, so now I can do things like press I can press the womp button. But I don't have animations or catchphrases or things like that like a lot of people do. So please forgive if you're looking for that kind of very polished professional streaming way of doing things. We are really not that here. Oh man. We should do creative sprints again. That's what the womps are for. Thank you, Rurha. Yeah, I'm in Canada now, actually. I've been in Canada for about 5 years. But I still am concerned about what's happening in the US because a lot of my friends and family are there. So. Oh, sorry, Caro. This game is, I was a teenage exocolonist. And it is, you are a child born on a spaceship that lands to colonize a planet. And then you play through your life from age 10. Does it start with age 10, I think? And every month you choose what to do. And it can help control the future of the colony and who your friends are and other story changes based on what actions you take and things you say and who you befriend. So it's very good. The writing is very, very good. And the art and the music. And it's very creative. And it has many interesting things to say. So I like it. I recommend it. It's very, very good. It is, I don't think I can see the title screen without closing out, so we won't do that because I'm in the middle of a character conversation. But it's a very good game, and I hope you check it out. I think it's available in other languages, so you may be able to get it in French. It's very good. Lots of writing, though, so which I've started reading out loud. People have asked for me to do so. I'm going to continue the game if that's all right. But thank you so much for joining. It's good to have new friends here. I hope that you had a good stream yourself with whatever you were playing or doing. I sometimes do music on streams. The flute in my name. I do play flute and I sing. I was practicing right before streaming today. So sorry. Sneeze. Long time ago I played Undertale, and Mother 3 I have changed a little since then. Okay. I'm going to put on my chat hat, which is how I let chat know that I want a question answered. How do I ask this question? Because I don't remember the obsidian layer or the crystals. And I just need my memory prompted for what those are based on what I've seen, without sharing additional details that would give away things. Like, can you do like a 5-word summary of what the obsidian layer, like when did I see that? When did I see the crystals? I don't remember those at all. And I think that that is a problem with my memory. And I am very frustrated with it. But I cannot fix my memory. So we are stuck with this. Because crystals seen with disc, they exploded. Oh, that's right. That's right. The explosions. Yes, thank you. Obsidian layer is when you levitate. Bravery challenge. Oh, yes. Thank you. Both of you. Thank you so much. That's perfect. Perfect. Very good. Okay. Both of those I saw with dis, right? Oh, no, 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 no. I can't tell them about the crystals. They're going to use those to explode the native species if I do that. They're going to weaponize my scientific discovery. I'm going to help them work. Instead of telling them about these things. Because I don't think that the current leader of the colony needs to have his hands on exploding crystals. You know? That doesn't seem like a good idea. Some people should not have access to... I trust Utopia. I don't trust all of these geologists not to go running their mouth. And I also don't trust Utopia not to make the decision to tell Lum about it. Lum would probably not use those devices. But the thing is, Solana got injured because Lum didn't bother telling us that he had rigged the courtyard in the colony. So giving him additional explosives is a really bad idea because he doesn't care if he's putting the rest of us at risk in order to try to take out the other life forms on the planet. Like, no, that's not good. So I'm not going to tell them the crystals. Don't know if I want to share my findings on the obsidian layer because that was a special moment with Dis, if I remember correctly. So I'm going to help them work. You set up a drone hive to measure the sediment layers along the cliffside and learn a few things about rocks. That sounds like a great time. And I got points in a thing I can't get points in. And I failed to be helpful. Well, should we do this thumper or should we go do... Let's do the boss thumper because I'm 75. Relatively low. I learned some rock facts. I was really excited about the rock facts in that show, not gonna lie. Just the fact that that's a thing. Man, I love that I still see people cosplaying as Wirt and... I'm sorry. Yes, Over the Garden Wall is really good. I've seen some good cosplayers recently. I've seen some good fan art recently. A friend of mine just bought the special purse that they made of the frog playing the intro on the piano. Just great. You need to watch it, Chrono. You'll watch it and you'll be like, oh, this is why Lauren loved this more than Steven Universe immediately, but you'll still like it. All right, let's do the boss fight. Are you ready for the boss fight? Utopia has given you clearance to poke around the ruins in the secret valley. Stars, this place is neat. Dis thinks so too. At least we didn't have to climb back down again, he mutters, but you can tell he's excited. The buildings are arranged in a spiral formation around a central point. They're made of that oil-slick obsidian, something that looks like petrified bone, and have parts missing where some other organic material has long since rotted away. It's all overgrown with vines and buried in shifting sands. So, the Convergent Domain made half organic, half mineral. Presumably the plant bits have gone away. So were they themselves a combination, or were they obsessed with balance and equilibrium? And so all things must be all things, whether they were all things or not. I'm just speculating out here, so... Oh man, Blue Glass, you should totally watch it. I love it. It's a great show. You follow the spokes of the streets until you approach the center of the valley, where a large pyramid-shaped building sits, surrounded by thumpers and a variety of other smaller buildings. I don't remember either. I feel like Convergent Domain is what we decided to call it, which in a way makes sense because Convergent is where things come together. And so... if my wild hair theorem or theory is correct, where they have this obsession with equilibrium and all things must be all things, then all kinds of things converge into one here. So yeah, I don't think Utopia ever said where the name came from, so she just said that that's what they've been calling it. So I could check out the pyramid, I could take a look at the thumpers, or I could investigate the other buildings. I'm gonna check out the pyramid. That sounds like a great idea. That's the centerpiece. You walk all around the massive pyramid, but you don't see any entrance into it. It's sealed tight. It vibrates with significance and looms hugely in your dream memories. You feel faint just being close to it, but Dis doesn't seem to feel anything. When he insists you give up and investigate something else, you don't complain. So he is not picking up on this, perhaps because he doesn't have wormhole deja vu. Perhaps because he's incapable of feeling fear, perhaps some combination of the two. Could take a look at the thumpers or investigate the other buildings. Let's look at the thumpers. The 4 thumpers are in careful alignment, forming a square with wide paths in between them and the pyramid in the center. One is almost totally reduced to rubble. None are still active. Interesting. See, the whole pointing out that it's careful alignment, again, that makes me think that the balance, the equilibrium, because again, if you think about the map and the seasons, there are 4 seasons and then there's glow. 4 thumpers, a square around a 4-sided pyramid, presumably. So it's all about the balance between the 4 seasons, the 4 thumpers, the 4 this or that, and glow perhaps is that everything is out of sync. So there's not supposed to be that 5th thing. It's out of whack. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. Please do not give me hints. I aggressively don't want hints or suggestions, especially if you've played the game before. Do not. I will notice things or not notice things, and you will have to sit in agony if I get things wrong. I'm allowed to overlook things, make mistakes, or take time to come to conclusions. Let's investigate the other buildings. Because it is interesting that because one of them is reduced to rubble and none of them are working. Investigate the other buildings. Smaller, more deteriorated pyramid buildings dot around the valley, purposes unknown. There are also dozens of little obelisks. Obelisks? 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 A couple meters wide with a circular design on one side. You approach a random one of these on the edge of the valley. Like the door in Dis's monitoring station. You know what to do. You get right up close to the circle and touch it, and the iris doors slide open. Obelisk. Okay, I got it right. So if I hadn't done that scene with Dis earlier, I would have been like, I don't know what to do here. It's a mystery. But I've done that, so I don't have to wave my hands helplessly and not know anything. Okay. Now you're looking through a large round door into a small, featureless room. Quite small. Quite featureless, totally dark, very creepy. But you can hear a faint hum. It's still powered. I could either bravely walk inside or nah. I really, really enjoy the character that they have put into the writing. We're gonna obviously bravely walk inside. My bravery is 30. It's interesting that 30 keeps being the cutoff. A lot of these other things seem to be higher than 30, but for bravery, I think they don't expect it to be up that high. So we're going to bravely walk inside. We're not going to bravely run away, which is what the nah would be. All right, we have a challenge. Look at that. This is the boss fight after all. Oh, card gets +3. Okay, so this overrides whatever that is. Okay. Oh. Oh! 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 Incredible. Oh, I like that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hit that goal. Do you see that goal? That goal is 93. That seems pretty good. We're going to do it. We'll see what happens. Or we could do this. That's 31. So that's 31. That's 28. Yeah, that's what I thought. I think that's as good. I think this is as good as this is going to get. This is going to be tough. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. No, hold on. So we can do 6, 7, 8, 5. We'll do 4. Actually, what would happen if I did this? That's 36. I did not think I was going to be able to do that, but they're giving me more of my higher value cards. And I managed to put sports ball to good use. I hate that card, but it has been very useful sometimes. I've been able to strategically use it. Okay, well, we did it. No super goal in the 93. Darn, but that's fine. Like, if I really wanted to, I could do some stuff here, but I'm not gonna. All right, we're gonna win this. They did make this hard. No skill changes, darn. I could use some points in bravery. You walk in, disc close behind, and suddenly the iris closes, the floor lurches, and you're moving down. An elevator. Have I been in an elevator? I guess they must have. They probably had elevators on the spaceship, actually. Never mind. The elevator squeals and grinds away like it hasn't been used in literally thousands of years. It doesn't go far, then grinds to a halt, and the iris opens to reveal a large room with obsidian walls. Like all Convergent Domain spaces, it's more cave than room, with stalactites everywhere and giant lumpy mounds of fungus. You wonder if the obsidian stuff they built with melts over time, running and dripping in extreme slow motion. Oh, maybe, yeah, that's actually a good point. Is that actually scientifically true, or is that an old wives' tale about glass? Because I thought that they used to think that glass was a very, 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 very slow-moving liquid, and that's why the bottom of very, very old glass was thicker than the top. But it's actually to do with the creation of the glass back before things could be as regular as they were. Or as they are now, rather. So as you make the glass, which is like melty, it actually does like a little bit of that while it's cooling. But then it cools, and that doesn't happen anymore. Yeah. Science! We have so many science. This perhaps is the stream of science. But it is interesting. This is another location. And so their places here have stalactites and lumpy mounds of fungus, which indicate that perhaps once upon a time those things were more orderly minerals and planty things. Fungus is not technically a plant, if I remember correctly. All right. Oh, MIT has an answer. I trust them. Glass is not a solid scientifically speaking. Okay. I know fungi are not technically plants, but they're closer to plants than minerals. I don't know if they're closer to plants than animals. I really don't know. I'm sure it depends on how you define it. There are consoles on all the walls. Like this is some kind of control room, just like in the monitoring station Dis found. Most of it is long, dark, and covered with a thick layer of dust. Except one device with two weird, bony, knobby sticks poking out of it. I could either grab the two interface sticks, touch stuff at random, or leave for now. I'm gonna grab the two interface sticks. Are you ready? Are you ready for something to go horribly wrong because I'm exploring some mad science? I'm gonna do it. You're starting to get the hang of these Convergent Domain interfaces. You just take hold of these two stick thingies and... This is gonna be bad. Whatever this is, it's gonna be really bad. The screen is gonna shake and something's gonna go badly. I wonder if in interfacing with Convergent Domain technology like this is somehow letting them read my biology and my nature, and also perhaps adapting my biology to be better able to use their technology, building that connection between us. You cease to be yourself. You're like a visual, audio, and weirdly tactile representation of something vast. You have a feeling of being in a large and complex space. No, like you are the space. A digital space, like a computer system, as if you were sucked inside a 3D representation of the HoloNet, and you could see files and processes and whole worlds of data, but in alien formats that speak to you more in sensation than logic. Okay, so I'm in the computer, because I was initially thinking that this was the wormhole that she'd connected to. This feeling of being in space, but no, you are the space, unless the wormhole is where their internet is stored. I'm just like throwing stuff out there, folks. I hope you're enjoying this. Those of you who enjoy the mini golfing, this is a mini golfing rich session for no particular reason except that it just feels like it. You let go of the sticks and the console room comes back. You grab them again and understanding fills your head. It feels not all that different from your bouts of deja vu remembering, like of memories being inserted into your mind, and you suddenly know just how to use this interface. You just think where you want to go or what you want to know, and away you go. Oh, yes, it is connected to the wormhole, because Solana had a reaction to the wormhole when we first went through it. Yes. And so because she's had that experience of her mind interfacing with convergent domain technology through the wormhole, since she was a child, she's therefore equipped to use convergent domain technology, and perhaps she is the first convergent domain / human. I don't know what the word for that would be. There's a word that I'm looking for. My engineering is so maxed out already. The word array comes to mind. A network of computers hosting millions of data nodes, information on every part of the planet, from weather to soil conditions to individual creatures. Not just computers, but entities that feel intelligent and also digital. Artificial consciousnesses like your ship's AI congruence. They're processing all that data and triggering subroutines to make minute changes on the planet's surface. They have created the Shimmer to try to do something. The Shimmer is either an attempt to cull the herd of humans or stop the humans altogether, or it's an attempt to change the biology of the humans into something that will work with the planet. And perhaps if Solana had let her dad go that day, he would have run off to the forest where the gardeners would have found him and made it so he didn't die and turn him into a mushroom human hybrid person. And then he could help bring, theoretically, peace, and then he would still be alive. Some version of him that's been changed by the gardener's stuff. Now that I know that there is a force out there actively exerting their will on things, that makes that seem like a possibility in a way that I didn't necessarily consider when we were first dealing with that stuff. So that's cool and not the slightest bit freaky. Then a booming voice enters your brain and obliterates all else, speaking more in abstract thought than words, but loud. What are you doing in Wormhole Observatory Array Console 5, you nosy little creature? Then an explosion in your head and you're thrown backwards and out of the array. There must have also been an explosion in your hands, which are now singed. The console is blown out and dead. Interesting. Wormhole Observatory. So they are keeping their internet in the wormhole. We are holding on to that until proven otherwise. Just hope you know. Yeah, I figured that would raise my stress. You're shaken. Something didn't like you poking around in there. Whatever the array is, whatever lives in it has been watching you, probably ever since you landed. You have a feeling Sim has something to do with this. He's either in league with the array or he's part of it. But knowing Sim, he won't tell you anything until he's ready to. It's so interesting because I feel like I was supposed to encounter Sim much earlier, and now suddenly like Sim is referenced in everything and all of this plot stuff is coming together like crazy. when there was like just nothing. But I actually like this as a gameplay thing. I don't know if this is what, like, it may be that actually when I encountered Sim is close to as soon as you can encounter Sim. I don't know. But I like the thought that you are completely alone and completely ignorant about any of this with the desperation of the first half of the game before the destruction and the starvation. And then the Helioland, or the Heliolands, and then everything is like human conflict, dealing with stuff, but you have the feeling that there's something bigger. And it's only once all the rest of that's been established that actually we get this bigger picture unfolding. Anyway, poor Solana, she's gonna have to go home after this. You tell Dis about the array and the voice saying Wormhole Observatory. He looks around, impressed. Convergent Domain was sure up to some shit, he says. And now you know about the array and how to access it. That could come in very useful if it turns out to be a danger to your colony. Okay, so come in useful is not a phrasing that I'm used to. I'm used to come in handy, but not come in useful. I feel like that's probably a regionalism, that either I have the regionalism to not do it and most forms of American English do use it, or the writers of the game have the regionalism to use it and most forms of American English do not. I don't know. So if you use the phrase come in useful, Data, I don't know. You decide to call it a day. Your arms feel all tingly and weak from getting electrocuted and your heart is still thumping a mile a minute. But you'll be back. You could keep exploring, but I'm gonna have to go home after this. You're too worn out and tired to continue. You have to go home now. But come in handy. That's the thing that I would say. Come in handy. Or is that a regional? That can't be a regionalism. I don't know. Anyway, you're too worn out and tired to continue. You have to go home now. Spent the month exploring. I got so much perception and so much engineering, and neither one of them can I do anything with because they're both maxed out already. All right, it's Pollen. This is Solana's first Pollen without her dad. Well, that will be interesting. Where is he? Oh, I guess he's probably over on the other side. Alright, Dis. This war, Dis says, staring out into the wilderness. It doesn't make any sense. What are we really fighting anyway? Nature? So when will it be over? When the planet is empty except for humans? Dis shakes his head. Sounds awful. Yeah, I don't think we can manage that. Alright. Oh, okay. We've already talked to Mars about this. I could give Mars a flower. I've got flowers. Might as well give Mars a flower. Oh! I've still got the cake. Well, that's nice. We'll give her a flower. Alright. Hello. What is up, Rex? You follow the sounds of laughter and find Nomi and Rex playing catch. Or maybe the word for the game they're playing is more like fetch. Nomi throws the ball as fast as they can and Rex tears after it, climbing and leaping over anything in his way like it's not even there. Yeah, Sim tried some of the icing. Rex hands the ball back to Nomi, and Nomi winds up to throw it again. But at the last second, they palm the ball and hide it under their arm. Rex barrels off away from Nomi with his ground-eating stride and gets pretty far away before he stops and looks around, confused. He looks back at Nomi, who waggles the ball at him and bursts out laughing. Oh my god. Incredible, Rex. To be fair, he actually has, like, dog DNA in him. Maybe that gives him the ball-chasing instinct. I'm glad that we're seeing a development of their friendship. Nomi, he shouts, running back to them. He picks them up and hauls them over his shoulder, and Nomi shrieks with delight as Rex spins them around. 2 Helio kids in their crisp uniforms pass by, glaring archly at Nomi and Rex. I guess Nomi and Rex are really the outcasts of their people. They both would rather do a lot of things besides fight. Your dog is smarter than Rex in this regard, Blue Glass. Rex sets Nomi down and then spots you over Nami's shoulder. Well, hey, it's Solana, he says, and Nomi turns around and gives you a stunningly bright smile. Rex slings his arm over Nomi, and Nomi lays their head on his shoulder. They're both breathless and beaming with happiness. So I can either say, did I miss something? Are you two dating? Which I don't think they are. I think they're siblings. Or what's the deal with your Helio friends? I'm pretty sure it's been established that they have a sibling-like relationship. What's the deal with your Helio friends? Rex and Nomi look at each other and stick out their tongues. They aren't our friends, Rex replies, shrugging. All they want to do is act like mindless little soldiers and measure each other's dicks. He rolls his eyes. There's so many more fun things to do with. Nomi thumps Rex in the chest. Don't be gross, they whine. Oh my god. Rex, why are you like this? Sorry, Nomi, Rex apologizes. I just mean, we don't need anyone else here. We don't need anyone else. Ever since we were kids, it's been me and Nomi here. They're my best friend. I love them like my sibling. Nomi smiles shyly and hides their face. Rex is my best friend too. Oh, buddy, Rex coos, and wraps his whole body around Nomi's smaller one. He kisses them noisily on the cheek, snuffling into their hair, while Nomi shrieks with laughter again. We were always the odd ones out on the heliopause, Rex says. People thought we were weird, you know? You probably don't see it because everyone is so awesome here, but compared to the rest of those smug, boring jerks, we really stuck out. But I'd rather be different than be like them. He looks down at Nomi, who beams up at him. And I got to be different with my best friend, which was awesome. We just hung out together and had our own fun while everyone else trained up to be proper little soldiers. Right, Nomi? Nomi frowns. Like Vase and all of his cronies, they say quietly. It wasn't all fun and games. Rex shushes Nomi and strokes his hand through their hair. I know, he says, but that's in the past. We don't have to grow up to be soldiers. We're here now, and there's so many more people to be friends with. He shoots you a smile. Like Solana. There's only one possible option for me here. Because you still have to follow colony rules. No. 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 Solana would never. And maybe more than friends? No. Solana is not interested in Rex. I am interested in befriending him and seeing what his contraption that he's building. I don't remember. I just know that he is building a contraption. I want to help out with that. I like him. But not as more than friends. So, yeah, I'm your friend. Yay, I befriended both of them. Rex smiles and holds his other arm out to you. Group hug! Rex gives really good hugs. And Nomi's no slouch either. Alright. Was that... Okay, that wasn't actually that I had made a friendship. Well, that's okay. Oh, it's his birthday! Oh, and it's early Pollen, so that is his birthday right now, and I have a thing to give him. I want to give him a log. He'd probably like a birthday cake too, but I'm gonna give him the log. Whoa! Rex howls with happiness as he takes the mushwood from you. You remembered my birthday and brought me the perfect thing to help build my bar. That's right, it's his bar, his construction project. Perfect. Alright, now my friendship with him. Oh my god, he's making the duck face. My friendship with him is now over 40. Good. And it's a new season. We're gonna have a hug. Alright. I just got 8 friendship points with Rex in one season. That's pretty great. Yeah. 44. We're getting there. Okay. Well, now that I know that I can do that, okay. Hi, Nomi. I'm gonna give you a present, even though I know this probably isn't your birthday. I have so many crystal clusters right now. Hi, Cal. You gonna be emo about my dad dying in Pollen so we can be emo together? No. That's okay. I'm gonna give you some food. Although I should probably actually pay attention to when their birthdays are. His birthday's late dust, so he'll be good by then. Relationship dating vase. Yeah, I'm concerned about that. I'm pretty sure that that Dis and Nomi would start dating if eventually. If I wasn't here to get in the way of that. But that's fine. Yeah, so late what? So we've still got time for them too. Oh, I have a friendship thing, or I have a scene with Tangent. Let's see what happens. Oh, you bump into Tangent after a routine checkup in medbay. Solana, could you wait a moment? I'm almost done. Let's walk out together. Dr. Instance gives you a curious look as Tange hurries to catch up to you, but goes back to her work. You wonder if Tange needs something from you or just wants to hang out. Lately, it seems like she has less time for her friends, preferring to work late at the lab. Maybe she's lonely. Nice weather we're having, Tange says as you walk outside. You look around. It seems pretty normal for the season. Okay, so this isn't seasonal. Is this my 100% thing? Is this the furthering of my 100% friendship with her? I don't know. She clears her throat. It's so different here than it was in space, she says. Growing up in a spaceship was so clean and tidy. Here I'm constantly sweeping pollen or dust or spores or what have you off of everything. There was a mushroom growing in the corner of the bathroom the other day. So I can either say I kind of like it, honestly, or yeah, it's gross here. I hope that this is not going to be her being like, so I figured out how to upload my brain to the internet. Like, she's building to something. We may wind up loading with this, because this feels like this one's going to be pretty significant. Honestly, the peaceful answer would be, I kind of like it, honestly. But we're talking about pollen getting in the way of things. And again, Solana's dad died because of the pollen, so I think she's going to say, yeah, it's gross here. It doesn't necessarily mean she hates the planet, but it is gross. Planets are gross. Bodies are gross. It's true. Bodies are gross. Planets are gross. Things are gross. Being alive means accepting some degree of grossness. Let's see where she's going. I'm worried. This seems like it could be ominous, which is concerning. I said, yeah, it's gross here. Right, Tange says, her eyes wide. Everything is just growing all the time, everywhere, with no plan. I hate even thinking about it. I want to tell her about them. Is that where this is going? Is that where this is going? So actually, it turns out there is a plan. Somebody is organizing it. Oh my god. Solana will. You realize, Solana will absolutely tell Tange. You walk for a few more minutes. Tange clearly has something on her mind, so you let her sit with it until she finally steels herself. I'm not very good at this sort of thing, she says slowly. So you know I've been working on a big project with the chief engineer? Yeah? Yeah? Please do not be about to upload your brain. Please do not be about to upload your brain, Tange. I really don't want that. I don't think that's a good idea. You nod and she continues. Well, it's been going really well. I think we're finally over the last hurdle now. Governor Lum says it's going to change everything here in the colony for the better. Do we trust his opinion on anything? Do we listen to anything he says? The man is an absolute idiot, a fool who doesn't understand anything and is high off his own importance. Tange seems more at ease than you've seen her in years. Truly, I couldn't have done it without you, Tange says, a slight smile warming her usually expressionless face. I know I can be a hard person to be around, but I appreciate everything you've done for me. And ultimately, for the colony and all of humanity. This feels like she's saying goodbye. What's really going on with you? Tange shrugs. It's nothing, she says. I just think it's nice to take a moment to recognize when someone has helped you. I'm trying to do it more. If the last decade has taught me anything, it's that you don't want to wait until it's too late. She smiles cryptically. I'm pulling at my hair, and in a moment, I am going to bash my face into the desk. Alright, so we're going to do that. We're going to talk about what's in Solana's head, and then we're going to make a choice here, and we're probably going to load after that because it's actually probably not going to be the right answer. And by the not the right answer, I mean like it's actually probably going to be actively a bad answer. So like Tange sounds like she's saying goodbye. She doesn't want to wait till she's missed her chance to say thank you before she leaves forever. And happy to help a friend sounds so flippant that I cannot justify Solana choosing it unless I know for a fact it's the choice I have to make. Furthermore, Solana has been trying so hard to get over Tange. She really has. She has not picked the flirtation option all these different times. Just one time. She's been so good. But the idea of losing Tangent forever. And Tangent is setting, perhaps unintentionally, setting this up as a thought in her head. You don't want to wait until it's too late. Solana is like, if I don't tell her how I feel about her now, what if she uploads her brain and dies? And I lose my chance forever. And what if I tell her you can't upload your brain because I love you? Solana is a teenager, and she has a lot of experience with trauma and tragedy to a degree that I think most of us do not have. Thank goodness. She does not have a lot of experience with romance, friendship. She has fewer years than I do. She's said the wrong thing fewer times than I have. She's had her heart broken fewer times than I have. So it feels like, for better or for worse, what I'm getting at, as much as time to make your move feels like that phrasing is indicating that this is the wrong choice, I don't think we're probably gonna, this is why I'm saying we're probably gonna load, because happy to help a friend is probably the right answer in a way that makes sense. But I have to see what this is. Even if this is only Solana daydreaming it and then we load it and Solana's like, that didn't happen. Are you folks okay with that? I do not condone continuing to push somebody who said no to you. Just for clarity's sake, since sometimes people are like, oh no, but you had the character do this. Does that mean that you think that that's the right thing to... No, characters can make wrong choices all the time. So we're gonna flirt with Tangent. You and Tangent find yourselves alone on the path from engineering to the quarters wing. You edge closer to Tangent as you walk. She doesn't seem to notice and moves away, maintaining the distance between you. So I could say, you look really hot today, which is not gonna help. Tange, I have feelings for you. We're a good team. Let's make it official. Or awkwardly give up. Maybe instead of uploading her brain to the computer, maybe she's reeling from seeing me not being able to say goodbye to my dad and her not being able to thank my dad for being good to me. Okay, first of all, important question. Is polyamory... Do not answer about my specific situation in this game. Is polyamory possible in this game? Is that a thing you can do? Yes or no? Okay. I am going to attempt to make all of Solana's immensely awkward dreams come true. I'm actually really excited about this. And not just because Tange kind of reminds me of the girl I was in love with growing up. Yes, Blue Glass, that is correct. I didn't think that it was actually going to be viable. Okay, to be fair, we still don't know whether polyamory where you're dating both of the twins is possible. Because that is a special and unique scenario. However, okay, so I love the emergent storytelling stuff that happens based on how you've been role-playing your character, with scenes like during the dance party when somebody else walked off and I was stuck awkwardly between the twins. And like, it's supposed to be like awkward because they don't like each other, and so they're standing there awkwardly not looking at each other and you're like, oh god, what do I do? But it was extra awkward because I'm like, no, you're both of my characters' love interests and you're twins and you don't like each other. This is the worst and the best. I'm very excited about this. Okay. Hold on. I didn't actually think this was actually gonna work. Oh my god. Blues. That's incredible. Hey Tange, how would you feel about having a sibling and a sibling-in-law? And what if they were the same person? What? I'm sure it's happened in real life, but I wonder if there's a special term for your metamor being your sibling. Oh my god, this game is amazing. I love it. Okay, anyway, I have to get into Solana's mindset, because like, I didn't know that this was actually going to be like an option that you could do. You know, I'm very excited. Because Tange has so thoroughly shot Solana down, and Solana's tried so hard to respect her. But she just can't help herself sometimes, which I've been excusing with her as a teenager. And also I feel like she would withdraw if it was so we're gonna do it. I'm sure Dis is gonna love this. I'm sorry. Oh my god, there's gonna be so much teenage drama. Because the thing is, Solana's genuinely interested in Dis, but she's been hopelessly in love with Tangent this whole time. And she's afraid that Tangent is gonna upload her brain into the computer. We can't let that happen. That would be bad. But perhaps we'll pull her into the sim conspiracy. No, I can't think of a way to merge those words. All right, let's do it. Are you ready, folks? Are you ready to do this? I only have to have friendship with Tangent 80. Well, that's fine. We've got that. Oh, that's why you can still give things to people, because like they can go up or down, whatever. Conspiracy. It's conspiracy. Okay, well, we will continue torturing the English language, but yes, we're a good team. Let's make it official. Let's see. She might not even accept this. I don't know. Solana is trying so hard. She's trying so hard. Oh my god. Okay. For anyone who's listening instead of watching, I will read this out loud and you can understand why I and all of chat are like giggling our heads off. Okay. You propose a formal amorous partnership between you. The way one might propose a scientific thesis. It would have mutually beneficial advantages, you tell her, and Tange stops in her tracks. I don't know what to say, she says slowly. Okay, so this fits very well. Solana's been like, I don't want to scare her off. I know I've been scaring her off. If I do the mushy stuff, she doesn't like it. Solana, what would you do if you wound up with two suicidally depressed partners? You're gonna have your hands full helping them out, honey, but that's okay. You really like them. She gives you a considering look. You're not the first person to suggest a partnership, but I must admit, you're the first who piques my interest in return. You know what? Yes, she decides. You're entirely right. I like you, you like me. There's nothing stopping us from pursuing a relationship. Started dating Tangent. So I could either, how should we begin? Or, want to make out? I'm sorry, the voice has to go there. Okay, we did it. We did it. Oh my god. Okay, well. This is exciting. So every time I finish streaming, I like go and like report back to my roommate. Like, she's like, okay, what's happened in the colony game? It's very exciting. It's like, oh, well, you know, everyone died. And then this happened, and a giant monster. And then there was a dance party. And so I can tell her that, well, my character got a girlfriend. So I guess Tange is not necessarily aero. We'll see. This may wind up being more of a queer platonic partnership. We'll see kind of how it plays out. But that's fine. That's perfectly valid. So I can have a queer platonic relationship with her and a different, I don't know. We're gonna cross the bridge of polyamory when it comes to it, which apparently it's gonna. I'm so happy for Solana. The girl needs a break. She has had some rough times. Oh my god, if I had let her dad go and he'd just been like taken care of by the space elves. Well, we'll find that out in a future playthrough, won't we? Alright. I like how this gets an exclamation point. How should we begin? Tange smiles, a real one showing her teeth. Oh, Solana, if you like me, surely you expect nothing less than a completely rational response that takes into account both our feelings and our situation? Yes, I expect nothing less. Oh! Oh! Tange slips her hand into yours and steps close. Will you kiss me now, or shall I kiss you? You lean in and press your mouths together. Tange's lips are a little dry, and she smiles when you kind of stick together. Almost acceptable, she teases, licking her lips. She brings her hand to your face and guides you together again into a kiss that's much better than the first. Oh, man. We did it. Girls! Okay. I'm pleased. I feel like we should just put on the lesbian hat for good measure. It feels appropriate. Even though I'm not actually asking a chat hat question, but hi, Kenny. I'm having fun. Have you played this game? You should play this game. It's really good. Yes, the chat hat question is in fact girls. Or women, girls, whatever. Yeah, no, this is a really good game. If you haven't, oh man, okay, well, there's spoilers afoot. I'm like 3/4 of the way through it. It's really, really, really good. Really good. I recommend it strongly. It's like 1 part visual novel, 1 part deck builder, and 1 part life sim. With good writing. Really intriguing world building. Gorgeous artwork. And some really, I really love the characters. It's really good. And you've played The Quiet Year, haven't you? The card game? The card deck storytelling game. Have you played The Quiet Year? I know I've played it with some of the folks around there. Okay, you haven't. All right. Well, otherwise I would compare it to that, but that's fine. Anyway, The Quiet Year is awesome. This game is also awesome. You should play this game. It's called I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, which is why there's so much science fiction on the screen. And spoilers, character spoilers. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited about this. Teen drama in space. Yes, teen drama in space and so much more. It's good, and I'm really slow, but other people probably can play through it pretty quickly. I'm me. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. Oh man. Tange is a better kisser than you expected. Confident, unashamed, and methodical. You kiss until she tires of it, pulling away and touching her lips with a slight smile. I'm looking forward to continuing this train of thought, she says. Well, that happened. I now have Smitten. You've started dating someone and you want to share it with everybody. +1 to all social skill increases for 3 months. Oh, that's good. I can use that to, oh gosh, I'm sorry, my eye has gotten really itchy all of a sudden. Yes, she has a bubble. We can see what that bubble is all about. Okay, so if I wanted to min-max really well, I could do this and then get empathy points and things like that. Yeah, no, there's a lot of potential drama brewing, Blues, and we'll see what happens with that. It's very exciting. All right. Oh, Tange is working late in the lab this evening as usual. What's unusual, though, is the smile that brightens her face when she looks up from her microscope and sees you. Solana! Oh, I'm glad you're here. No, actually, why don't you come over and see for yourself? You take a look through her microscope. Look at the shape of the spores, Tange says. I've only seen this once before when we were studying the shimmer fungus, but this fungus isn't any of the ones we'd identified as capable of spreading the shimmer. She pushes you aside and looks through the microscope again, then makes more notes on her HoloLens. Just when I think we've got an understanding of something. Solana, this could change everything. If more species are capable of spreading the spores, then the shimmer response is more widespread than we previously thought. Possibly even a planet-wide phenomenon. Is the shimmer how they control us? and they were trying to control my dad so they could have a test subject that they could take in, a willing test subject that they could take in, study, and find a way to make humans part of their gardening. We'll see. Tange looks positively energized. Because it's a new species, I get to submit a suggestion for its name. What do you think? Should I name it after you? Tange, honey, the shimmer killed her dad. Tange, honey. You're talking about spores and shimmer, the things that killed her dad. I don't think she wants it to be named after her. I don't know. I'm stuck on role playing this out, okay? So I could either say I'd be honored. Then again, she's my new girlfriend. And she is trying to be romantic. So I think this might be a case because we know that Solana will absolutely, she has some people pleasing in her. Even if she's doing less people pleasing for the adults now. So I'd be honored is probably what the people pleaser in her would say, even though she's actually a little uncomfortable with it. Tange smiles and inputs your name into her hollow eye. With a slight gesture of her hand, Tange's hollow eye turns off. She sighs and rubs her thumb and index finger over her eyes. It's even later than usual for me, isn't it? Time to pack up and get going before the sanitation team arrives in the morning. She yawns, then blinks rapidly in surprise. It seems that even I'm tired. You help her pack up her workstation. She turns off the lights with one last fond look at her laboratory. You and Tange take the long way through the colony, walking in companionable silence towards the general direction of the living quarters. You've come to enjoy these walks with Tange, moving like twin spirits through a sleeping world. Tange stops you before you head into the living quarters. Actually, let's not go straight back, she says. I want to stay out a little longer. You and Tange climb up onto the walls, where the wind coming from the forest is stronger, and keep walking. The wilderness is dark and impenetrable past the defensive perimeter. Tange keeps you on the outside edge, subconsciously, or possibly consciously, putting you between her and it. I hate thinking about what's out there, she says quietly. Predators, dangers, diseases, all the monsters that have terrified humanity since the dawn of time, and they're right outside these walls. So I can either say, for as long as we can keep them out, or it's not so bad out there. I'm going to say it's not so bad out there, because I feel like I've been able to get along with it. Yes, I'm going to say it's not so bad out there. She wraps her arms around herself as she walks, looking down at the ground. And inside as well. Monstrosity is the human condition, too. Every horrible thing endemic to humanity. Jealousy, aggression, fear, pride. It's still here in us. We brought it, just like we brought potatoes and corn. It's terrifying to think of what horrors we're capable of inflicting here, as we did on Earth. You walk a little farther before Tange, seemingly in the middle of some deep thought, stops and turns to you. Solana, are you happy here? She winces, then bites her lip. No, I don't mean happy precisely. Happiness is irrelevant to a survival situation. What I mean is, do you imagine a future here? One that you would have chosen for yourself, should you have been given the option? Are you fulfilled? Oh, that's a good question. Yes, I am. I'm just existing day by day. Or no, I hate it here. Solana doesn't hate it here. Honestly, she's upset with things that have happened. Yeah, well, so the writing is always good. It always does its job well. But during the particularly important moments, you can tell the writing steps it up a notch. It's kind of like those special illustrations that we see of particular moments. No, it is really nice, and it's not something that, maybe because I don't play as many like word-based games. Like the one that I played most recently was it called C++? The Magical Firewall game by the person whose Transistor fanfic I read. Open Sorcery, thank you. C++ is the sequel. That's the one I haven't played. Yes, Open Sorcery. Which the entire thing was, it's basically an interactive fiction work. So it's written like poetry in a lot of cases. But even then, like there's a moment where like the switch flips and it becomes poetic versus kind of the more like day-to-day writing. But it is a really nice thing that you don't get to see so much in a lot of other kinds of games, where you'll see like, oh, they pulled out all the stops for the animation here, like whether it's they animated the sprites specially, or they decided to like do like higher definition 3D animation and like the faces are in more detail, like in like old like PlayStation games. Like this scene matters, so we put more into the art or whatever. But I really like words, and so I like the idea that you can do that exact thing with words. It's cool. All right, so what would Solana say here? I think that Solana is fulfilled. Like, no, this is literally the only game I've ever played that has gotten me to start role-playing a character that is not what is given to me. I usually bounce hard off of games like that because the way that they're written doesn't accommodate a feeling of a person in a world having relationships with characters. So like the fact that the writing in this game is so good and supports that, like, because that's been my complaint with things like BioWare games, is that it feels like there's no point in me building up a feeling of a character and what my character would do, because it's very like, it's serving a different purpose than what I want out of role playing. This is the only video game type thing I've ever played that provides enough of what I want out of role playing that I've started role playing at it. And I've been playing video games a long time, so I think that's awesome. It's really cool. And I just really like the characters. All right, so thinking on the subject of role playing, Solana here, I think she's fulfilled. She's furious about some of the things that have happened. Like, the things that have happened and the way that the world is are not how she would choose. But she's... It's funny, I think if Tange had asked her this question a year ago, she would have said she was just existing day by day. I honestly think, and again, this is like, I don't know if I could have encountered Sim any sooner than I did, but I like that I encountered him as late as I did. I feel like having answers on the horizon to some of her questions and potential solutions to some of the problems. Not to mention the fact that, like, because of my 100 perception, the fact that when I go outside, I can walk safely around and look at things. There's this feeling of security in her life. Not that she's safe from danger, but she's like, I may not succeed at what I'm trying to do, but I can at least try to do something. And so I think actually, yes, in the past few months, maybe this year alone, this may be the year that she has started getting to the point where she would say that she's fulfilled. So that's good, given how depressed she was for such a chunk of last year. Good job, Solana. Because she has some really strong friendships. Like, her friendship with the twins, each of them, has been really strong and dependable. And like right now, she's like, she had some serious concerns about Tange, and now like those concerns are at least temporarily set aside. So like, and Cal, like, she can disagree with Cal, but still feel good about, like, their friendship can survive them having philosophical disagreements, which is great. So I think in some ways she's feeling more confident in who she is and what she's doing in this world and what her goals are and what she's going to do. So yeah, she is fulfilled. Yes, I am. Oh, Tange replies, looking away. I envy your clarity of vision. Honestly, Tange continues, I despise the physical realities of living here. The smell, the cramped quarters, the constant threat of attack, of disease, everyone's meaningless interpersonal squabbles amplified by proximity and stress. I can feel them weighing me down. She laughs humorlessly. But we don't have a choice, do we? Therefore, the only rational decision is to make the best of what we have. To accept otherwise is to accept misery and death, which she won't do, because she refuses to walk the path that her mother walked. It is so interesting to me how both of these two are so clearly defined by that. You know? I mean, that is the sort of life experience that shapes you, you know, forever. But the way you can see it in the development over the years of both Tange and Dis. Like, yeah. Oh. Tangent's focus. Unlock Tangent on the main menu. That's the Tangent you know so well. You can trust her to stay logical and focused no matter what chaos tomorrow may bring. Well, if I'm not mistaken, that might mean that I get to play through a Tangent scenario. What? Like, I know that from what I've heard in the Baldur's Gate 3, you can apparently play through the main story as the, like, party characters, which is wild to me. But also, like, this game, they were clearly like, we're gonna put a lot of energy and effort into the words, because that's what it takes to do that sort of thing. But okay, well, that's exciting. You walk until the chill of the night settles into your skin, then descend from the walls and walk back to the living quarters. Tange hesitates at the threshold. Anyone else might not have noticed, but you know Tange. Probably better than anyone in the colony does, even her own brother. What's wrong? It's nothing, Tange replies. I'm just tired, I suppose. I'm working on something with the chief engineer that's bigger than anything I've ever worked on before. It could change the fate of the colony, of humanity even. She looks at you and gives you a faint smile. It's a lot to think about. And when I'm alone, all I do is think about it. So Lum is apparently excited about this, but Instance and Lum, there's something there about Instance's past that would make her, I don't know. I'm just, like, the little part of my brain is going ping, 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 ping about that. So I can either say, do you want a hug, or everything's going to be okay. She doesn't, you know, given that she's been physical with Solana, I think Solana will say, do you want a hug? I don't know that I could say everything's going to be okay, but I want you to tell me what this is. Do you want a hug? Tange's awkward silence conveys that she has to consider this deeply. Yes, she says finally. I do, actually. You enfold Tange in a gentle hug. After a second of stunned inaction, Tange wraps her arms limply around you as well. You spread your hands wide and hold her more tightly, trying to manifest the right kind of comforting energy to resonate through Tange's shields. Either you manage or she simply relents, but Tange rests her head on top of yours and sighs. Oh, she's taller than me? Okay. This is where I talk about how physical touch encourages the production of oxytocin, she murmurs, which is a bonding hormone that imparts feelings of calm and security. Thanks, Tange. That's very romantic. But no, it is true. I imagine that Tange is really touch-starved. Honestly, I imagine Tange and Dis both are. They don't really have a lot of friends. Which perhaps partly why they recoil from touch. They don't have a lot of experience with it. Because does Instance really seem like she does hugs? Not really. Not a lot. Not enough for a child. You can feel her smile against your hair. I know you know that, though. So I'll simply say, this is nice. Thank you. Tange straightens her coat. I am aware that I am not the easiest person to befriend, she admits. Among my many admirable qualities, I am also often cold, brusque, and tactless. I owe you my thanks for taking the time to see through that. I don't know why you would have bothered, but I'm grateful. She looks towards the living quarters as if steeling herself. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure on like the flagging of this and my relationship status with her. And I don't know where the game is going to go with this because of that. But the only option is if she's clearly feeling really lonely. I mean, this may be like, are we going to move in together? Which could be really awkward with Dis. But it's fine. It's going to be fine. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Oh my God. Children. Okay. So I'm going to say you don't have to be alone tonight. And I don't know if this is going to be a romantic thing and that this is only unlocked because we have a romance. Or if this is just going to be keeping her company. But I'm going to say you don't have to be alone tonight. Oh, an interesting proposition, Tange replies. What precisely do you mean? We could keep each other company. All right, well, if this winds up being a Fade to Black, congratulations, it'll be the first Fade to Black screen on a Lauren stream. Okay. Tange scrutinizes your face for any hint of an ulterior motive. Convinced you have none, her shoulders drop. I'd like that, thank you, she says, defeated. Okay, so we're not doing that. Okay, that makes sense, honestly, because that feels like she could use the company more than that. I wasn't sure. You retire back to Tange's quarters, a largely sterile sleeping room with few human touches, save for a few neglected plants and a ratty blanket that you recognize as the kind Chief Steward Anne used to knit by hand for every kid. There is a physical photo of Tange and Instance posed awkwardly together, as if they'd been working on something and told to take a break to smile for the camera. That's sweet. Also, Solana is absolutely going to try to meddle in this. I can't not play meddling characters. Good night, Kenny. I'll see you next month. Yes, I will be in Texas and I will see you. Music will happen. Hanging out will happen. Take care. Bye. You keep Tange quiet company for a few hours, trading bits of conversation until the first sun starts to rise. You look over and see that Tange's eyes have closed, and her face has finally gone slack in much-needed sleep. You pull the blanket over her and close your eyes as well, to catch a few hours before you're both expected back at work. I love that. I love that. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's delightful. Look at that! We get an exclamation point! Dating you! Okay, well, I'm actually super happy with how the relationship with Tangent is playing out. It feels like it's like as happy ending as we could get with her. You catch Anemone scarfing down some rations outside the garrison. I took a nap during my lunch break and I ran out of time to eat, she says. Too much to do. I'm concerned about you, Anemone. Do I have anything for you? Do I know when your birthday is? No, I did not give Tangent anything. Where is... Oh, Anemone's the first one. I don't know her birthday. But somebody else's birthday is this month, so hers is probably not this month. So we can try next month and see. I am concerned that she's dating a jerk who is a jerk. And maybe he's actually, like, Zuko, super secretly sweet under that shell. But, like... I don't know, man. Is there anyone I haven't talked to? I think I talked to Dis. Talked to Nomi. Okay. Alright. I think I talked to Dis. Yeah, I have. Okay. Well, in this case, I think the only thing I can do is rest. And I've maxed out friendship on the wall, so we're gonna do resting inside and befriend Rex. I'm sorry, I'm gonna sneeze. I'm suddenly super sniffly. All right, are you ready to relax in the lounge? Forget a baby memory and befriend Rex and see what kind of drama this gives us? Let's do it. God, I'm so sniffly. All right, we're gonna relax in the lounge. Lots of kids treat the lounge as an informal study hall, especially Tangent. And Mars too sometimes, if she's trying to impress Tangent. You crack open a textbook on your holopalm and read about some old dead Earth poets. Just because you're not in class doesn't mean you can't read ahead a little bit. Okay. I'm apparently out of events here too. That's fine. No, I don't want to forget either of those. I am going to hang on to like all like 4 of my talent show champions. Thank you very much. Mysterious. Oh, that is totally him, isn't it? Look at that. You can see he's got his X's on his bracelet, which are probably symbolic somehow. Okay. Well, now that I know who he is, they're going to keep those memories. You know what's funny? I passed several years wanting to get rid of sports ball, but it's actually been so useful a couple of times that, like, I don't know if I'd get rid of it now. Okay, we've had this conversation with Cal before. Yeah, he's talking about us as an invasive species, which is, in fact, what Sim said. Hi, Tange. Oh, I could flirt with Tangent. Oh, I could break up with her. Why would I break up with her? No. I don't know what flirting... I guess I could... Well, I don't know. Alright, I guess this is going to be one of those months that not a lot happens. A war on alien life, Dis says, shaking his head. Am I the only person in this whole stupid colony who realizes that we are literally the aliens here? I'm sorry, that's a really great line. Good job, Dis. I'm sorry. Okay, so what are we going to do? What are we going to do with our time? If we were going to min-max things, I would be like, now's the time to go do a social thing. Maybe we should go cook. But when have I ever min-maxed? I don't really. So we could get more events. I don't know what kind of events we can get at this point. Part of me wants to go back out and we were going to explore the Pollen place. We were going to explore the Pollen place during Pollen. See if we can find that place that Solana kind of wants to set on fire. It is Pollen right now. We couldn't do it last month. Are you ready? Shall we go to the Pollen place? That's the valley, right? Plains are snow, valley is pollen, and the ridge is dry, which means wet is coming. I don't know what dry is called. Is it called dry? It's probably called dry. All right. Let's see what happens if we forage in the valley. Dust! That's what it's called. Thank you. I'm sorry. My memory is so bad. Let's go to Dust and see what happens. This is like the slowest year we've had, I feel. I'm sorry I've been so slow. I'm just gonna harvest all this stuff. Yeah, there's been a lot. Oh, look, there's a thing. He's got a thing to say. Oh, man. Oh, man. Are you ready to go talk to the elf boy? Let's talk to the elf boy. He's got a... Oh, that's right. I bumped up our friendship, I think, a bit. No, I didn't bump up our friendship. Well, let's see what he's got to say. For once, you see Sim before he sees you. He's crouched just off the path, staring at a flower, his face blank. He doesn't react as you approach, so you watch him for a while. He's so perfectly motionless you'd think he was a plant too. His eyes are unfocused. Is he accessing some kind of mental interface? Probably. Eventually, you clear your throat. Sim carefully stands up and turns to face you. For a moment, you're not sure if he recognizes you. Then he tosses his head and a grin leaps to his face. He forgot how to human. It's okay. Solana, you caught me checking in with the boss. So I could either say, your boss is that flower? Flowey. Hopefully not. We'll all be in trouble. Or you have a boss? No, he was looking at the flower and communing with his boss. The flower is not the boss, I don't think. Well, we'll see. But say you have a boss? Of course he has a boss. We need to be scared of them. My boss. As I told you, they aren't fond of change, he replies. They're also very much like your boss. What's she named? Utopia? He tilts his head to the side. Her name word is fitting, isn't it? He lays one finger against his chin. I appreciate that she always reminds you not to get yourself killed. I wish you'd listen to her. I'm not sure exactly how it's fitting. Perhaps because she's trying to make this planet a place that we can live. The thing is, I don't know that Utopia is not fond of change. Oh, but so she's trying to watch out for me. And probably the comparison that he's drawing here is that his boss is trying to convince him to be cautious with being so close to humans. Alright, so I can either say she gave me a job to do, or I can take care of myself. I can't take care of myself. That is a fact. I've had to be mysteriously rescued a number of times. Yeah, because how did I get... The last time I was here during the Pollen... during the topiary. The topiary place. I feel like there was something involved with keeping me from being dead there. That could have just been luck, but it also could have been that he either brought the other humans somehow, like led them to find me, or brought me over to them. I'm not sure. But I'm going to say she gave me a job to do. And I have my job, Sim replies, which is to protect this place. He laughs. Protecting you seems to be my hobby. I like that. If the boss finds out I'm talking to you, I'd be in trouble. So, shh, he murmurs and puts his finger to his lips. You're learning human movements, Sim. I'm so proud of you. Also slightly unsettled. Then why keep talking to me? Well, why do you keep running off doing dangerous things, Solana? I wonder if Sim is younger than the others. I wonder if Sim is one that the other gardeners created, whereas the other gardeners were themselves created by whoever their predecessors were. Just as Solana is the child of the people who came here, in a way, so she's not tied back to how things were, in a way that the humans are. So the humans are, in fact, bringing the ways of Earth to this planet, for better and mostly for worse, as opposed to seeing a new way, because they are so tied to what they came from, that even though they meant to start over, they meant to have a fresh start where they threw away existing human cultures and languages and made their own to try to get a fresh start. They are still repeating the same problems here that defined humanity on Earth when they left. But our generation, in as much as we are unburdened by the expectations of Earth, we don't have that and therefore are free to find another way. Which is something that Mars is always saying when she's not being insufferably vain. Mars is a great character. But it would be actually a great parallel if Sim himself is an equivalent version. And since he's clearly differentiated himself from the other gardeners at this point, I think that parallel is probably meant to be there. So we'll see if that's what's going on, but that's what I would do. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm piecing together from the parts they've given me, which is super fun. Also, then he would be more of a child of his people since he's romanceable. That would be I think less uncomfortable for some players who are not the monster fuckers among us. who perhaps are more used to dealing with what happens with people and non-humans who have different lifespans. Anyway. All So, he's not supposed to be talking to me. He would get in trouble if he was talking to me. How do they not know Sim? I guess maybe he's really good at, like, shielding his activities. Makes me think of Murderbot doing its, like, it's really good at programming stuff, so it, like, whenever it's up to something, it, like, convinces all of the cameras and the systems and stuff nearby that it's not doing that. I can make Murderbot comparisons because they made a Murderbot reference in this game, so it's appropriate. Alright. Then why keep talking to me? Sim smiles warmly. Because you're the girl of my dreams, literally, he replies. I can't seem to stay away from you. And because you humans are different, he continues. I'm so bored of everyone else on this planet. The other gardeners, my boss, they have everything on Vertumna just the way they like it and don't want the teeniest thing to change. He sighs. It's boring. It's funny because this parallels Mars, actually, a lot. Mars is the one who's always complaining about things being boring. So the boss is not one of the gardeners. I bet the boss is that digital intelligence that kicked us out of the wormhole internet. I'm so excited that I was like, oh, it's the wormhole. Wait, no, it's the internet. Maybe it's the wormhole internet. And then the game's like, it's the wormhole internet. And I'm like, yay! I'm on the right track here. Okay. See that tree? Sim points to a large tree with many long limbs dripping from it and embedded into the ground. That tree was a small creature for part of its life cycle. You call it the Variki. Once it plants its roots, that's where it stays for the rest of its life. Okay. Yeah, we have definitely noticed the different life stages, words, of the Variki in particular. The gardeners spend time as trees do, sometimes hundreds of years. If you do that enough, you start to think like a tree, set in your ways. He spreads his hands, an earnest expression on his face. When I watch you, when I talk to you and learn about your species, I feel inspired. I feel young again. Oh, man! Okay, it's been approximately 1 million years since I've read The Lord of the Rings, but isn't part of the problem with the Ents that they take forever to make a decision? They're very slow thinking, like trees. I'm pretty sure that's part of the thing. All right. Look at me! Sort of vaguely remembering a thing. No, but it makes sense. And since they're already setting up in this, that the living things have, like, the animal, plant, mineral, I guess plant, animal, mineral, I think that's how it's usually said, it's appropriate for the gardeners themselves to have those comparisons. All right, so I can either say, wait, how old are you? Or, hold on, you can shapeshift? Oh, wait. When he says the gardeners spend time as trees, I misread that line. Oh. That's on me. I read the line as they spend time the way that the trees spend time. What he means is they literally are trees sometimes. Okay. Which makes sense. Everything else on this planet is all of the things. So, wait, how old are you? Or hold on, you can shapeshift. What? Okay, Solana, I don't know what answer to pick. They're both great. He's not gonna answer his age, but he might give me an interesting answer for the shapeshift. Hold on, you can shapeshift? Don't you think my looking human is a bit of a coincidence? He replies and motions to his body with a sensual flick of his wrist. It is a rather handsome body, don't you think? I happen to think I did quite well. If you say so. I'm sorry, you are not Solana's type, and she is so occupied right now. Oh man. What if you can romance everybody? That'd be great. You just have like a whole little harem. All right. He could be Solana. No, he couldn't. If he were Solana's type, Mars would be Solana's type. He has more in common with Mars, I think, than anyone else. All right, if you say so. You have so many more questions for this man or gardener or whatever he is, but as soon as you open your mouth to ask another, Sim cocks his head as if listening and holds up his hand. I'm sorry, he says, looking for all the world like he's listening to the dang flower, but I must away. I must away. I'm sorry, I'm putting on my melodrama voice for Sim, but like, can you blame me? And with that, he's gone, off to protect the wild or rescue damsels or whatever. Or maybe he's just avoiding your questions. Thanks, dude. As you approach, Sim holds a finger to his lips and bids you approach quietly. Look, through here, he whispers. Through a break in the trees, a small cult-like unisaur is taking its first halting steps in a small clearing. Its mother stands nearby, her sides heaving and gleaming with sweat. Just a few minutes old and already walking, Sim admires. Incredible, isn't it? I'm gonna give him something. Gonna see what he does based on me giving him things. What should we give him? I could give him the cake again and he'd be like, yes, thank you, Solana. I'm gonna give him the strange device. See if he'll respond to this. He probably won't, but he might give it back. We'll see. All right, we're gonna give him this and be like, I found this thing. Sim examines the device for a moment and then hands it back to you. I think you had better hold on to this, Solana, he says. You may need it later. Sim likes strange devices. Sim likes everything, doesn't he? My friendship with him is 40. Was it 40 before? I don't think it was. I think talking to him makes my friendship go up, but I'm not sure. Anyway. Well, that was exciting, don't you think? I think this is one of those ones that lowers your stress, so we'll come back to it. I think so, Blue Glass. That seems to be the way things are going. Okay. So there's all these critters. Eggies. Just getting a lifetime supply of stuff. I thought I was at 20. I wonder if, like, every time you run into him in the wild, it goes up a certain amount. Oh, hello! It's Utopia. You want to have a moment with Utopia? I'm going to gather all the stuff first. Oh, man. I'm gathering all the stuff. We're going to see if we can do the pollen thing. Although Solana is slightly less about burninating the countryside. Because what she said to Tange was true. She is more content with her life now. Not like she's got a mission. She's got things she's trying. All right, let us talk to Utopia. Like the rest of the planet, the valley is home to some strange plant and animal life. You find Utopia puzzling over a jelly arch, a huge gelatinous arch held together by solid veins, large enough for a person to walk underneath. Oh, that sounds unsettling. They don't look like animals, but you've been around long enough to realize that things aren't always what they seem. Upon closer inspection, the arches seem to pulse and breathe, even though they have no visible organs. And they're always kind of warm. It's unsettling. There was some encounter with a skull, if I remember correctly, where somebody commented that everything in this planet seemed like it was put to use on this planet. Because, of course, as it turns out, it's all being intentionally designed. They've created these horrific monstrosities to keep each other in check, to have a perfectly balanced ecosystem where nothing goes wrong. I wonder what the creatures think about it. Now, I know this one ain't right, Utopia mutters to herself as you approach. Solana, you ever see a jelly arch look so deflated? You take a look. It's true, this arch doesn't seem as structurally sound as the others. I'm beginning to think they're all connected, Utopia says, scratching her chin. Like runners underground, poking up every so often in waves like this. If If one's looking rough, what's going to happen to the rest? She sticks her hand in the goop, and the arch seems to cringe away as she roots around in its innards. It's got some kind of crystal structure in here suspended in it, she says, sticking her tongue between her teeth. Wonder if it's got its nose knocked out of joint, or whatever it's got instead of a nose. The jelly arch makes a sloshing, groaning noise, its surface rippling with pain? Can it even feel pain? Or is it just a reaction to being churned up inside? One thing I will definitely give this game credit for is that, like, the fact that we are actually torturing living things on this planet by accident, but still, like, comes through. I'm gonna offer her a crystal that maybe she'll stick in. We'll see how this goes. I'm gonna offer her a crystal. Utopia hums. It can't hurt, she says, and shoves the crystal into the gelatinous mass of the arch. The arch stiffens, and Utopia shouts in alarm. Dang thing's got my arm, she exclaims. She gets her foot on the jelly arch, no longer as permeable, and hauls her arm out of it. Whew, she laughs. That'll teach me to go sticking my hand places, will it, Utopia? I don't think it will. I think if you're the kind of person who's going to do that in the first place, at your age, nah. The jelly arch looks more healthy now, standing up proud and wibbly again. Great thinking, Solana, Utopia says. Who would have thought? I got some kudos, and I got some biology. Sweet. So we're learning to be caretakers of the planet, which we could do. Hint, hint, hint. All right, you guys ready? Let's do the exclamation point. How does that sound? Let's see if we're gonna go back to the topiary hell. I know it's at 10 o'clock and I usually shut down at 10 o'clock, but I want to do this. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Oh. No, it's not. Okay. You spot a juvenile squeegered queen all on her lonesome. She's still mobile, but she's moving very slowly, digging around in the dirt here and there, licking the ground, possibly looking for a place to take root and live out the rest of her life. This might be an opportunity to capture a living hive. Maybe you could convince it to take root in one of the barns in the colony, giving the colony a source of honey without so much dangerous foraging. It spits acid if you get too close, and they have a nasty, powerful beak. No wonder no one's managed to catch one. Okay, so I could either try to trick it, pick it up, or leave it for now. I'm going to try to trick it. Animals challenge versus toughness challenge. My toughness is not very good. Cards with gems are wild, huh? Okay, cool. 79, that's pretty high. Okay. All right. 6, 5, 4, 24. Could be worse. Next round. Ah. Well. None of my cards here have... Oh, man. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I could just redraw my hand altogether. Actually, we're gonna try this. 3, 4. Huh. That's not so great. Wait, hold on. I could do +2, 6. No, I'm trying to think what else I could do. Yeah, that's the same, but I don't know, man. I don't know. We may have to load this one. Try again. Wait, one of these is red, right? Yeah, so if I do... If I make this a 6, and then I do 5, 4, 3. Okay, we did it. We did it. Incredible. Actually, I'm going to try something here. Okay. That's as high as I'm going to get. Well, that's all right. Let us win. We're going to win. We're not super goaling, alas. I really wanted a super goal. I love my super goals, but I got a kudos. So that's cool. Mostly blind, the Squeeger Queen is oblivious to your ulterior motive. You spend an entire day subtly leading her in the right direction. She's like an incredibly slow turtle who keeps stopping to lick the ground for some reason. It's super boring. Cal meets you at the gates to receive the Queen. Your Majesty, he jokes, bowing deeply. I'll make sure she gets settled in, he says to you. Come by and visit her anytime you want. Excellent. Gained memory milking the Squeeger. Alright. That's a 6 card with a gem. That's cool. And some kudos. Keep exploring. I don't know if I want to do any more of the things here. I wonder, actually, maybe I couldn't see Sim. Like, maybe I couldn't have met Sim earlier than I did, really. Okay, so I think I've got all the stuff. Hi, Sim. Because it's pretty close to wrap-up time. Okay, the float cow are grazing nearby. Oh, hold on. Nah. All right. Well, in that case, I might... Oh, there's another yellow flower. Yeah, we're gonna pick everything. In that case, I might take it home. I don't know if I want to do these. I don't know what I stand to gain from them. They're mostly going to be animals points, which, like, are cool and all, but let's see. Is this one of the ones that lowers your stress? I got a point in the animals. Oh, I got a point in animals and it didn't cost me any stress. Nice. Yeah, we can see if we can see one that lowers stress. Wouldn't hurt. Well, I guess I'll just get some points in animals. Well, that's fine. Okay. interesting. So I came across a Squeeger Queen. When she sees you, her mandibles start clicking in annoyance, and she puffs up angrily. She looks decidedly more dangerous than the other Squeegers you've seen. Seems like your thievery of her royal jelly has consequences. Oh, snap. Okay, well, we are tired. A healthy blep bush. Oh, I already have this one. But I'm pretty sure that chewing the blep will give me... Okay, gives me rebellious points. And it made me feel better. There we go. Okay, well that's good. That's great. Stress reducer. Okay, I think that's about what I can hope to get from here. Got some cards, got some stress reducer, got a couple points in animals. And I think I'm about ready to maybe head back. What do we think? We can head back for the month. I don't think it's Verdumnalia time. I think Verdumnalia is during the dry season. Let's go back. Oh! Yes. Let us go home. We did okay. Shall we end this month? Yes, we will end this month. No, I meant to end the month. I meant to say yes. I failed. Yes, go home. Okay. Spent the month exploring. Perception, which I don't really need, and biology, which I suppose I could use. Oh, and I don't get any points with Dis because he doesn't go to that one. Oh man. Oh, I have a scene with Dis. I should probably shut down for the night, shouldn't I? I have a scene with Dis. Oh man. Who else have I got a scene coming up with? I probably should flirt with Tangent just to make sure that we've got some time for each other. Oh, look that. There's an Eggy. I am gonna keep trying to befriend her. I should shut down though. Alright, well, we've got the conversation with Dis, and I'm kind of wondering if we're gonna see if we can unlock the polyamory. But I should probably shut down for the night. Oh, man. Okay, this is really fun. And look, we made it through 3 months instead of 2 months or something like that. This is the slowest year. By far. We'll see what happens from here. Well, we might take a look from the main menu next time. Remind me on the main menu to see what tangent mode is. Yeah, so next week we are off. Not for a while off. It's just next week that we're off on Tuesday. I will be back for a couple of weeks after that. And then there will be some travel in Texas, and I will try to keep you posted about that. Also, I want to reiterate, if you are interested in the Secret Santa, that's probably going to be something that we will... I mean, it's something we're going to have to, like, launch in December, and it's going to go December to January. So, yeah. No Thursday stream this... Wait. No, we are doing it this week. We are doing Thursday this week. Last week we didn't do, and next week we're not doing. But we are doing Thursday stream this week. Yes, we're doing Thursday stream this week. It's next week because I'm traveling for Thanksgiving. We're canceling all streams. I will be cooking so much food and hanging out with my family. And this is not my family in Texas, so it's people I don't see as often. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, Blue Glass. I'll try to keep folks posted. If you've got any questions, as always, ask in stream chat, and I'll try to keep you posted on that. Good night, everybody. Bye. Thanks for following and hanging out. I appreciate it.